Franklin D. Roosevelt famously said, "The only thing we have to fear is fear itself." And spiders. I mean, not the tiny ones, but the big ones with the hairy legs, the wolf spiders that actually charge at you, for they are very frightening. Not a lot of people include that last part of the quote, but I think it's important. Some people think that fear is a good thing, an early warning system to get you out of unsafe situations. Some people think that fear is a hindrance. Today on the show, we're going to be talking about the things we fear, fear itself, and a whole lot more here on Morgan, Brayton, and Other People. Ladies, oh God. Oh, I'm so sorry. I was so afraid when I turned. I didn't know you were going to be here, and I was terrified. But you look lovely now that I can see you through my tears of fear. Speaking of ladies and fear, I'm going to get right to it. Today's attitude adjuster brings together both of those things that I love so much. It is the fearless lady. Ooh, will you drink to that? Cheers. Oh, yeah. Wow. Cheers, my lime. It's a bit of hypothetical.
Oh, that's delicious.
So that's
tasty.
Good. Mm-hmm. That's
like
so
a sip
good.
Of summer.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Or winter, or spring, or fall.
Really, any time of the year.
Let's face it. Talk amongst yourselves.
Okay. Okay. So, ladies.
Just kidding. Oh, that's tasty. Mm-hmm. All right. So I am afraid of spiders. I will just put that out there right now. I'm better than I used to be. I no longer have to call my dad to get them out. Oh. I can do it myself now with like a glass and then the cardboard underneath. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I can't. It's me. I cannot kill a living thing.
Me either.
Nobody's buying it.
I know.
Nobody.
I can't. Because if I see a spider and then I don't get rid of it immediately, then I'm frightened for life.
Right. Like because you don't know where it goes.
Yeah, I can't do that. I can't do that. So I just got to get the nearest whatever and.
Really?
I have to, Morgan. I'm sorry. I have to
transport it alive.
Yeah.
Only in certain conditions will I reach for a shoe and kill it.
What are those conditions?
If it's ginormous. I
think all the more reason not to then, because what if you miss and then it just is mad?
And then it knows.
Yeah, that's terrifying. I can't do that.
I don't have a problem with spiders.
No.
For me, it's mice.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have
mice. Like, logically, I understand that I outweigh a mouse. By like
slightly.
I don't know, like 35 pounds or so.
A mouse is slightly louder than you.
They have that on me, yeah.
The mouse is like, what is that noise?
So, like, my brain knows it's very silly.
Right.
Because I'm so much bigger.
Yeah.
But they're so scurry.
Yeah.
But they're so cute.
No. If you have a random mouse that happens to, because when my mom and I had a place in like Port Kells, we had a mouse. And I was super embarrassed if we just had one.
That's what I said myself too.
My friends came over and my biggest fear was that they were gonna see a mouse and I would be so like, ooh, sorry, I live in dirt. The answer to your problems is you buy a cage.
You're like, oh, my mouse got out.
Yeah. If you see a mouse, he got out of his cage.
I had to.
Yeah.
That's really
and then your friends keep like catching mice and putting them in the cage.
They're like, you have 17 mice.
One time, I was watching TV and one of my cats was like, and I had that thought, oh my God, no, we've got mice. And then I saw a spider like this big, like scurry. And then he went out. I was like, Billy, no. And I know, it's like, what am I?
Nature.
It's complicated, right? And then he dove, and I was like, Billy, no. And he came out from behind the TV, and he had it in his mouth. He had like the body in his mouth, and the legs are like this. And I was like, Billy, no. And then I didn't know what to do because I didn't want him to drop it again, but then I didn't want him to eat it because I was afraid it would bite him while it was a very upsetting situation.
So what happened? What'd you do?
I think that's when I blacked out, so I don't remember.
I heard you telling me stories.
She put a bucket over Billy and slid paper, and the whole situation went outside.
But are you always afraid that they're going to bite through the paper or the cardboard and bite your hand?
Do you know what kind of spiders are in your home that they're biting through paper?
Not coming over anymore.
I'm also afraid of ghosts, though, so if you kill a spider, then you got ghost spiders in your house, you guys.
Are you really afraid of ghosts?
I am, yeah.
Have you seen, like,
No.
what's made you afraid of them? You've never...
I grew up in Victoria. It's
They have ghost tours over there.
I've become fascinated lately with reading ghost stories about places in Victoria, just to terrify myself when I go there.
Interesting.
I stayed at a hotel that was haunted, and I stayed. I did not sleep. Are you afraid of ghosts?
I am not.
Are you afraid of anything, Fatima?
I am afraid of moths.
What?
Yes. When I was a kid, I had terrible cousins, and they decided to lock me in my aunt's closet, which had so many moths.
Are you
I
afraid
was
of
stuck there
closets
for
too?
hours. I used to be really afraid of closed places, but like now I've gotten over that fear. Like I can ride an elevator and not have a panic attack.
Are you afraid of gay people who have not come out of the closet yet?
That is my number one fear.
I know. I was like, as it's happening,
I was like, oh God, Morgan, let it go. Morgan, let this one go. It's not going to come across.
it's gonna be good.
Have you guys ever had a fear that you thought was conquered resurface?
Yeah.
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, briefly in adolescence, I became afraid of the dark.
Oh.
Like I got over it as a kid, and then just like flirted with it for another 2 years in adolescence for some reason. It was like, yeah, the dark is terrifying. What if you open your eyes and then you never see again? What if I'm actually blind? And it's not just nighttime.
Now I'm afraid of the dark.
But how did you overcome your fear? Like just because you grew out of it and then it came back? Or did you do something to overcome your fear of the dark?
Oh, I decided to only live in urban centers where it never actually gets dark.
Smart.
That's very clever.
What was I forget the name of the fear of being stared at. We were looking up phobias, and there is a fear of
some
being
weird
stared
ones.
at. You do not have that.
No, I do not. I have a fear of not being stared at.
Thank goodness that's not a problem. So has anybody ever had to overcome a fear?
I didn't have any one specific fear as a child, but I was a very frightened child, and I was afraid of everything. Like, I couldn't watch scary movies, I couldn't sleep in my room alone, I couldn't go to sleepovers. So I had to really somehow grow out of that, because it started to kind of, like when I was in my early teens, it was still there. And like my parents would have to pick me up from things, because I'd be having some kind of
Oh,
nervous
really? Were you that
breakdown, yeah.
kid that went home from a sleepover?
Oh, like every time.
Oh,
No,
right.
not I want my mom. They'd be like, oh, we're gonna put in Pet Cemetery, and I'd be like, oh, like why can't we just talk about boys and do each other's hair?
Yeah.
And then my mom would have to come get me.
Right.
I don't like scary movies either. Like really demonic ones. I
Right.
don't like. Like just plain old murder, fine. But ones where it's like
Once it can really happen,
Murder's
I'm
okay.
totally into it.
yeah.
Okay, we got to take a quick break, but I do want to hear more about the things that frighten Erica. And we'll do that when we come back with more Morgan Brayton and other people. Welcome back to Morgan Brayton and other people. We're talking about fears on the show here today. We talked about a little bit of some of our fears, and I was talking about overcoming fears. So there's the whole idea of exposure. Like, if you're afraid of spiders, you should let some spiders crawl on you and you will no longer be. I have never understood. No. I mean, I guess it makes sense if it's something like,
Debilitating.
yeah, like flying
Yeah.
that is not, it is an irrational fear. 'Cause spiders are fully rational fear.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever see the Tyra Banks show episode about phobias?
No, do tell.
Like,
So she had people on that had phobias and then helped them get over them because Tyra is nothing if not helpful with phobias. There was a woman who was afraid of pennies. So Tyra put a high-end Gucci or whatever wallet at the bottom of a tank full of pennies, and the woman had to stick her hand in it to get the wallet. Yeah. But then Tyra faced her fear. She wasn't just going to do it to her guests.
Being
She
a
faced
terrible talk show host.
that she was not afraid of. No. She is afraid of dolphins.
oh.
She was crying and screaming in the pool with the dolphins.
But they're so majestic.
I know, it makes no sense.
Did she have to frolic with them to get over it, or?
She couldn't really get too close. She was like, she was really freaked
See,
out.
that's a fear that that's completely, it's not going to stop you from doing anything in your life.
Yeah.
Like in a year, I'm invited to maybe one dolphin-based party or event.
I feel like being afraid of dolphins, unless you had a terrible dolphin experience, which maybe Tyra did, so I don't want to disrespect her. But something like being afraid of pennies or Billy Bob Thornton, he
Can't fly, right?
he's afraid of a lot of things, but including he can't be anywhere or stay anywhere that was constructed before 1950 or something like that. He has a thing about old curtains, drapes. So yeah, anything antiques.
That's
He
weird.
he gets panicky.
Panics?
Yeah.
I have a friend that's afraid of white creamy sauces.
Oh. Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I don't want to know what experience happened to that person.
Well, no, but I have a friend with the same.
Like mayo, if like you have
She says it's opaque liquids, and she's
she's fancy.
But are they
They're hiding something.
Are they
Those liquids
afraid
are
of
hiding
it?
something.
It's a fear of it. Like she it
She just
freaks her
doesn't
out.
like it, or she's like, oh my God, it's on the
It
table.
freaks her out.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the mind gets really weird about it too. Like really weird. She's also afraid of birds.
Oh, the bird
That's a
one
common
I
one.
find very interesting when people are like constantly.
Yeah.
Like they're gross, but I'm not afraid of them.
Okay, but are there things that we are afraid of that are sort of, kind of more legitimate? Like, are there fears that actually hold you back? A fear of dolphins, a fear of pennies, probably not going to impede your quality of life too much. But are there things that actually get in the way of your life that you're afraid of?
I have a deep-seated fear of change.
Okay.
And always have from a very young age.
We've covered pennies already. Danielle, I was like, let's catch up a little bit.
when I was a kid, my parents got rid of a couch and got a new couch, and I was devastated. And I just cried. I don't know why, because where is that couch gonna go? I'm never gonna see that couch again.
Went to the couch farm.
It's a definite challenge in my life still, of like, even if something is bad or it's a bad situation or a bad job or something, I'm like, well, I guess this is where I work.
Right. I can relate to that. And just kind of being outside of what's normal for me. Like every time we go on vacation or even just away, like a weekend I can handle, even that kind of makes me stressed out. And I like to go places and I like to be, have that experience. But I get super stressed out. I'm a complete bitch the week before. 'Cause I'm just like, I'm not gonna go. I can't leave the cats. How can we, and I get really, really stressed out. And then the first couple of days I'm away, I'm just miserable. And then I relax and I'm okay. And then I don't want to go home again. But yeah,
I can't wait till we plan our next girls trip.
right. But no, see, like a weekend I'm okay. But it's that kind of fear of, I don't know what, fear of something I can't handle because it's different, because something's gonna surprise me. I don't know.
We don't either, apparently.
No, you were gonna say something you thought better of
I
it.
was like, is it a loss of control? And then I was like, oh no, that was away.
No, I don't think that's it. I think you're wrong.
And I will prove it to you with all of my control.
Even though stress reactions are so interesting, like sometimes like I'll get an email from my boss and just the subject line or something will make me freak out. And my body, that reaction I'm having is no different than my ancestors hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years ago, but they were running away from like a saber-toothed tiger.
Right.
They needed that.
Yeah.
I have no business having this adrenaline shoot through my body when it's just like, hey, are you done with that assignment?
Right.
Yes. But I've already had the reaction.
But why? So is
That's
that
like the biology of it.
Yeah, it's just that leftover response, right? That biological response is still there. The way our brains are mapped are still there. We're just petty.
But it's because it's like your safety. Like that, even the email, if you lose your job and then
Right.
you'll be out on the streets and then that's a big change. Couch gone, bed gone, dresser gone,
Too many
everything.
changes.
Well, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about fears here on Morgan, Brayton, and Other People. Welcome back to Morgan, Brayton, and Other People. We're talking about fears here on the show today. And, I sometimes actually think that our culture is addicted to fear. I mean, there's like little things like scary movies, which I don't, especially if they have ghosts in them, or giant spiders. But that wanting to be scared, that wanting to watch a movie or go on a roller coaster, any of those kinds of things that make you scared. And now we've got like escape rooms and that kind of a thing, which they're so great though. Okay, well then tell me why they are great, because I don't understand it.
I love puzzles, guys.
Yeah. I don't think they're scary.
Yeah, there's some that are scary. You can get scary ones.
Oh yeah. No, they
Oh,
do.
they're available.
It's fun.
Okay, got it.
I want to run by
I
Fatima.
got it.
I want to be an actor in those scary rooms. That's what I want to do. Because I feel like that'd be so much fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You'd be really good at that.
Yeah.
But it is mostly just about solving a way to get out of
It is.
the room. It's not like and then people are like attacking you while you're in there. Maybe there are some.
Well,
I
there
don't
are
wanna
some
get yelled at again. I don't want to get yelled at again.
Then haunted houses.
Oh, I love
right?
haunted houses.
Yeah.
Okay, but see, there you go again.
Because it's
Look,
like
just lit
so.
up.
It's the anxiety.
Yeah,
and
it's
you're
like
you're
building,
so
building,
stressed.
building, and then you're like, and then just suddenly like,
Yeah.
That's my whole life,
was
you guys.
about
Why
to
would
say
I
that.
go
Like,
into a
every
house
day
that
to
did
me.
that?
I love
Yeah.
that. I love people jumping out. I hate it when you're in a big group in a haunted house. And
'Cause it
like,
ruins
only
it.
the people in the front get scared or the people behind. Like, I hate being in the
Right.
middle of something like that. It drives me nuts. I just love it.
just
But
want to
I have a fear that somebody's hiding in the haunted house who's actually going to kill me.
murderer.
Valid fear.
Yeah, that's the fear that I have of a haunted house, not the people jumping
That's
out.
a great like murder mystery plot.
I take mace with me whenever I'm in a haunted house.
just in case.
I've been asked not to come back. It's a 17-year-old who's never gonna drive because I blinded him. It's just a joke. He was like, but I like the scary rides, like the roller coasters.
Roller coasters.
The whole time I'm on them, I'm like, what if the power goes out? I wonder if the safety bar will lift up and I'll fly out to my death.
you
And
miss the
I
whole
hate
experience.
it, but I love it. I'm like, let's do it again.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like constantly thinking I'm gonna fall out.
Yeah.
And then I'm like,
But
I
that's
can't wait
part
to
of
do
it.
this again. I know,
That's
right?
part of the
Like the
fun.
pirate ship. When it goes almost upside down, I literally every time I'm like, if the power goes out right now, does this just open up and we all fall to our deaths?
Yeah, just keep a tight grip on it.
That would be my 1 second hang. Don't worry, goodbye.
I guess it was important in gym class to hang for longer.
Like start paying. It was purely for future pirate ship problems,
Yes.
right?
They always prepare you for those
I'm gonna
things
have
in
to
school.
coach now. I really need you to work on my upper body strength for when Playland opens again.
I don't know. I don't get that. I don't understand that whole thing. And I don't understand. I really do feel like some people. I do feel like it's an addiction to fear. Like maybe it's just become such.
It's just
a
part of our
habit.
life now, so much more.
I guess, but that's a choice, don't you think?
Well, I think because media has made everything very fearful. Like that's how they thrive and that's how they survive. And so now as a society, that adrenaline rush that we get when we watch the news or we hear a story or whatever, I think does become addictive. So then we seek it out in fun ways so that we still get that little feeling. Like somebody said it's like being on drugs, which I would know because I would never do something like that. I'm a lady. But but no, so I think that's what it is. It's that little jolt of whatever we feel.
Right.
And now we just want to find a fun way to experience it without.
Well, because even innocuous stories on the news, they'll be like, "Are pierogies killing you?" Up next.
Right.
Like stay tuned. You're like, are they?
And the pierogi story always is way at the end, so you gotta sit through all the other stuff.
Boring stuff.
I might be dying.
Almost
Yeah.
like they're just trying to sell ads.
There's definitely, with the current election in the States that they're working on right now, there's so much fear-mongering, right? There's so much, and I know that that's nothing new, but the playing on our fears of the other, of people taking our stuff and taking what's ours and all that kind of stuff, that is very much part of that whole conversation in the States. But I feel like the whole thing around terrorism, I think we're terrorized by the idea of terrorism. I have somebody in my life, I'm not gonna say who is like daily, there are conversations about how we're gonna, nope, we can't go to that movie because there's probably gonna be a terrorist attack in that theater.
I've had that fear sitting in a movie when if I overhear another movie that has like explosions or something and I don't know what it is, I'm like, oh God, it's happening. It's happening.
Okay, but do you
And then I panic.
curtail your activities?
No, because I'm already in the movie.
Right.
But then I do sit
I
there.
already paid $12. So what am I getting
what am
up
I
and
gonna do?
leaving?
I'm gonna run out to the terrace and just be like, here I am. No, I'm gonna I'm planning, get under, like make sure you're tucked in, get your popcorn so they don't know anybody was sitting there. Yeah, but I have that same
Sounds like you
thought.
got it down.
I definitely agree with that person in your life who I would never name out loud.
I have a real problem with it because, first of all, I don't want to live my life, and I know it's a very privileged position to take, of like, I'm not going to live my life in fear. It's like, yeah, because you don't really have that much to be afraid of. You know, white lady who lives in Vancouver, right?
But
like,
that's
fair
great
enough.
that you don't have to do any of that.
Sure,
Yeah.
right? So why go looking for it? You know? And this is the thing that makes me crazy. And even if it's true, even if, okay, first of all, the possibilities. I messaged a friend of mine who is like a math teacher and super good with that kind of stuff, and I was like, I need you to tell me what the odds are of me in Vancouver dying in a terrorist attack. And so he's like, well, there isn't like the data on that exactly, but if you take this and extrapolate and blah, 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 it's like, there's just, it's so small. So small. You are more likely by like 300 times to choke at the dinner table, right? Like 3,000 times, whatever it is. I'll look it up, the number. I'll get you the stats, you guys. But it's so unlikely. You are more likely to be killed by a donkey while camping than you are to be killed by a terrorist attack. I don't want to make you guys afraid of donkeys or camping, but
or by like someone in your life. Like especially for women, the biggest threat to women is probably the man you love the most.
Exactly.
So
history would show.
no, I mean not everyone's man the most, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Statistically, as a
speaking,
woman,
right? So
more
that's a
likely.
fair thing to be concerned about and to work against. And sure, if you're going to actually be actively involved in fighting terrorism somehow, sure. But I refuse to spend any of my time or energy to be freaked out by something that A, is not happening, and B, even if it is, I can do nothing about.
And C, you would be on the front page of People magazine, and that's probably the only way I'm getting there.
Well,
so
Get on it, Sigurdson.
you know,
So,
it is a valid. Sometimes when I'm on one of those small rickety planes flying into a small town, I'm like, well, if I gotta go, this will at least get me some coverage. I don't think I'd make it to People flying to Red Deer.
no, I was going to say, I don't know if one of those little
I might not
Gimli,
even make the
Manitoba
cover of the
planes would-
Province.
Yeah.
I was on one of those small planes going just from Vancouver to Seattle, so there's only 15 people.
Yeah.
And I was sour that there's a baby on the plane because then I was like, if this goes down, that's the tragedy. I was like, I'm not even young enough.
You just have to grab the baby's body so they think it's your baby.
That's right. I'd be like, well, I mean, she's not old, but she's not like young. Like she's accomplished some stuff. That baby though.
That baby throws off the whole bell
Stealing all
curve.
my death glory.
So it's not a fear of death per se.
No.
It's a fear of people not paying enough attention to you. Speaking of fears and phobias, I looked up some actual phobias before the show, and some phobias that we do not have. Automysophobia, which is the fear of being dirty. Robyn, you do not have it. You do not have it. I don't know, I'm no scientist, as we know, as I've just established with my stats around terrorism.
1 in 300 or 1 in 3,000. I can't remember.
It's very slim, whatever it is. But, okay, ballistrophobia, which is a fear of missiles or bullets. I feel like that is a good thing to be afraid of. I feel like, I mean,
you're
not
not
if you're
afraid of
like
that.
daily and you live in Vancouver and you're afraid of missiles, then yeah, maybe you have a problem. But I have this one, megarocophobia, fear of cooking.
No, you don't have a fear of cooking.
I have fear of the result of my
don't want to have to
cooking.
cook.
No, I have the fear of the result of my cooking. Mexican pinwheels, anyone?
I think your wife and children, their fear of it is bigger.
Yeah, absolutely.
Much bigger.
Absolutely. Another one that we don't have, onophobia, fear of wines.
Oh no.
Definitely not.
And I certainly hope that none of our viewers have a venistrophobia, which is a fear of beautiful women. Because they wouldn't even be able to watch our show, you guys.
Or maybe if they like being scared, they're watching it right now.
Exactly.
Like this.
They're too beautiful. Well, I'm afraid we're out of time. See what I did there, you guys? So yes, thank you for joining. No, it's evidently clear every week. There it is. Thank you for joining us here today on Morgan, Brayton, and Other People. Face your fears. If it's dolphins, if it's pennies, you're gonna be okay. Look to Tyra.
Don't.
Look to us. We are role models. Thank you for joining us here today on Morgan, Brayton, and Other People. We'll see you next time. I think you should always look to Tyra.
What if you get a new bracelet? What would Tyra do?
With your eyes. Fear of not doing it properly. I'm like crazy.
I have a fear because when I just have my new headshots,